Organ donation saved my life. This is a topic that is close to my heart, literally. I received my new heart nearly 5 years ago now, and I have been thriving ever since. I know this is a crucial subject as it touches the lives of many individuals and families every year. This also includes both the donor and the recipient families. Now, I remember that I was a candidate for a heart transplant way back in 2019, and this was due to suffering from heart disease at the age of 29. Fast forward a couple of years after that, and then I was in end-stage heart failure. I could barely walk up the stairs. I was fluid retention of up to 21 kilograms. Now, thankfully, that's all behind me, and I now have a new lease of life that involves being a dad to my 2 boys, working full-time, and running marathons whenever I get the chance. I recall the night that a nurse come into my hospital room like it was yesterday. After spending 4.5 months and in intensive care at this point, I honestly didn't have much time left because I was hooked up to what's called an artificial heart, and I had gone through 7 other operations since this point. Once receiving that news, they then had to carry out the checks of the donor heart, checking that the tissue type had matched, blood type, etc. And all of this felt like an eternity. In reality, though, it was only a couple of hours. It was early hours of the morning. So as you can imagine, it felt even longer. Now, I remember being wheeled down to the theatre like it was yesterday again. And once it was all given the go-ahead, I remember a comment that one of the nurses said, and that was, "Has anyone phoned up the surgeon to check if he's been woken up?" Which I thought was quite incredible, how a surgeon could just wake up and carry out a huge operation like that. The heart transplant procedure itself normally takes around about 6 to 8 hours, okay? And a huge part of that is actually the preparation. As you can imagine, there's lots of things like the transfusions, the anesthetic, and so on. And this is also that once the old heart is removed and then the new heart is inserted, that is done as quickly as possible. Once I had the surgery, I remember waking up probably about 18 hours afterwards in extreme pain. And of course, this is not surprising, seeing that I'd just been through the major surgery. Every movement that I had, every cough felt excruciating. And in another sense, though, I was completely elated that after all this time that I had finally made it. As the days passed and my strength improved, I had this overwhelming sense of guilt, as you can imagine, that someone had to die in order for me to live. The nurses, however, they kept reassuring me that if I didn't receive this heart that was on offer, then it would have went to someone else. And it was also that donor's last wish to become an organ donor. Therefore, I'm extremely grateful each and every day. A big part of my day is having a gratitude diary, and grateful for not only the donor, but their family agreeing for organ donation, as well as the NHS as well, for saving my life. And I want to promise that I will live a life that is appreciative of such a selfless act. The need for heart